Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to be following this quick hair tutorial, this pin that I saved from Pinterest, and I decided to kind of follow this and kind of see how it goes and what the results are like. I'll be giving you guys link to this specific pin and also the name of the artist. Also, I'm going to be using the same color as this pin has, so I'm just going to be following every step this pin has suggested. So for the first step, I'm using Studio Pen from Inking Brush Set, and I'm going to be using this brush to create this basic sketch for the hair. Also, make sure that the stabilization and the streamline is not increased up to the max, because we want some sort of movement when we are drawing this basic sketch for the hair. I hope this is making sense. So just a quick tip from my side, that's what I do when I draw hair. I don't like increasing stabilization up to the max or increasing the streamline up to the max, because you also want some sort of movement, some sort of flow when you create the basic sketch for the hair. So I'm just gonna draw it. I'm just gonna not stop talking now. Alright, so the next step is obviously to color. So as I said before, I'm just going to use the similar color as this pin, and I'm just going to fill the shape in using soft brush from Airbrushing Brush Set. And I'm just going to be filling in, like, I'm just being really imperfect here, but just because I'll be erasing any parts that are kind of filling out the shape, so it doesn't matter. So you do the same. So yeah, there's nothing much to explain. I'm just kind of following the steps, and in between I will be giving you guys my own tips, because in the end I actually ended up not using this pin as reference because some of the steps didn't make any sense to me. Like, I was like, how did you get from 0.6 to 0.7? Like, there is no clear explanation. So that is why I just stopped using it and I just went my own way. So I will explain you guys later on what I did in the end. But yeah, for now, just fill in the shape and just refine the whole shape and just erase any parts which are kind of spilling out the shape. Now for the third step, obviously I'm just picking up this dark brown color from this pen only, and I'm just going to follow what the artist did here. So I'm just going to be really imperfect, and also I am doing this in a separate layer so that if I mess up I can actually fix it. And I added clipping mask because I obviously just wanted to add it over the shape. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. And for this step I'm using soft brush from Airbrushing Brush Set. And also, you guys, if you guys hear background noises, just excuse me. I know I say this in every video, but this is how it is. Like, I cannot really help it. Yeah. So yeah, here I'm just adding this color here and there. Yeah, there's nothing much to explain. I just fast forward this. So I didn't really understand the fourth step, so I just went ahead with my blending tool and I just started blending out the edges of these little shadows because they were looking crazy. But you can just, exactly follow the whole pin if you want to and just see how the results look like, but it just didn't make any sense to me. So I was like, okay, because in the pin the hair are kind of actually looking pretty good, but what I was doing here was not actually looking even close to what this fourth step is. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna follow my own way. I'm just gonna do it on my own way. So yeah, next thing that I kind of recognized the artist did is, darkening up those outlines. So, and more so just adding more hair strokes just under in the shape. I hope this is making sense, but you guys will see what I'm doing here. I'm just adding more and more hair strokes around the edges of the whole shape and also inside this shape. And I'm using studio pen or maybe technical pen. It doesn't really matter. Both of those brushes are really good. Just make sure that you decrease the size of the brush and also the opacity, because we're adding more hair strokes, and this time around we don't want them to look that dark. So what I did basically is I started blending out any outline or any hair stroke that this shape had afterwards, because it made sense, and it also kind of helped me in creating shadows as well, because when you blend something it also kind of spreads the color. So it kind of helped me in creating shadows around those hair strokes. So I hope this is making sense. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just adding more hair strokes, and I'm also blending out the basic sketch that we created initially. I hope this made sense. It was not here in the pin, but that's what I'm doing on my own. Now, as I said, I recognized that the outlines were pretty dark in this pin, so what I did for that, I just created a new layer, and clipping mask, add clipping mask or not, doesn't really matter at this point. But I picked up black color, and I picked up soft brush from airbrushing brush set, and I just started adding this color just over the outlines really lightly. And when I say really lightly, I mean, just don't put much pressure onto the screen, because we don't want harshness here. All right, so that's what I'm doing here, because I was kind of confused. But yeah, the results were pretty good after me doing that, and that's what I'm doing right here. So once you kind of cover all those outlines or add this black color wherever you want, just pick up your blending tool as usual and just really lightly go over the shadows, like really lightly, because we don't want to blend everything out here. So here I'm adding highlight to the hair, and I'm picking up that light color from that pin and also creating a new layer and adding clipping mask to the layer. And I'm using soft brush from airbrushing brush set and just start adding the highlights. And you don't really have to be perfect here, because we are going to be blending this out, even though in the pin the highlights look pretty on the harsh side, as in looks like the artist didn't really blend it too much and it looks good. But as I said in the beginning, some things just didn't make sense as to how we got from step number 4 to step number 5, so it was unclear to me. So I just did it in my own way. So that's what I'm doing here. Once I add this highlight over the hair, I'm just going to go ahead and pick up my blending tool and blend these out. Now here I'm adding more highlights, and also I'm adding light colored hair strokes using soft brush from airbrushing brush set, as you guys can see right here. And yeah, that's what I kind of understood from step number 5. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Even though when I was like kind of confused, I was just doing it in my own way and I was not even looking at the reference at this point. Here I am going back to the layer where we added that black color over the outlines, and here I'm just going to add more black color here and there, just to add more depth to the hair. And that's what I'm doing here. Nothing much to explain. You guys will see what I'm doing. Here I'm just adding more light colored hair strokes, and for that you can either use light pen from Luminance brush set and the light color from that pen, or you can just use white color if you want to. Basically just add more light colored hair strokes and then just go ahead and blend those out really lightly. Now after doing that, it actually looks pretty good. And just to be a little extra, what I did is I actually created a glow behind this whole hair shape. And for that, what I did is I just actually duplicated the base layer, but I added the base color. I duplicated that layer and I changed the layer mode to add, and then I just added Gaussian blur to that layer just to add some sort of glow behind the hair. It is not needed, I was just being a little extra, but yeah, the final results turn out to be pretty good. Obviously it is not similar to the pin that I was looking at or using as reference, but yeah, the results are still pretty good. I really like how they turn out to be. So yeah, if you follow this tutorial and create this, then do tag me on Instagram. I would love to see your results. And you can also just go ahead and follow the pin that I showed you guys, or that I'll be linking in the description box below. I would love to see how it turned out for you. Other than that, I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I should call it tutorial. I don't know what I should call this video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.